Hi guys, I'm Julius. I'm one of the 3 co-founders, and we are actually protecting humans for the new generation of AI cyber attacks. And we do it a little bit more interactive than people used to be trained for cyber attacks. What we are basically doing is we are creating for each and every one of the employees, we are creating almost like a Spotify playlist of cyber attacks, but always with the recent content on all channels, so leveraging all the AI technologies like deepfakes, fake video conferences, anything you can imagine. And yes, exactly. So we are kind of replacing the old boring online academy videos that all you guys, all employees are used to up to now, and try to have a little bit more effective protection for the employees. One very recent attack or technique that's being used, it's called actually spam bombing. Spam bombing consists of basically an attacker signing you guys up for or sending you fake newsletter sign-up emails. You'll receive like 10, 20, really it's going to flood your inbox as a user. Just shortly after, the attacker is actually picking up the phone. In most cases, it's actually an AI voice for that. And what's then happening is that attacker is actually pretending to be the good guy and saying like, hey, something's wrong with your email, I'm calling from Gmail or Microsoft support, and exactly in that, using the user's trust, they navigate the user to a fake website where they can download the fix for the problem, but actually that is malware that the user then directly downloads to their system, and therefore the whole virus, aka ransomware danger unleashes. So that's one thing that we've seen a lot in the last weeks. There are a couple of other things which you would never believe, and I also cannot share. I can tell you one funny story from our customer base, because actually, so we train especially a lot, we train the guys in accounting with CO frauds, where basically CO is calling and wants the accounting guys to pay an invoice very urgently. What actually happened at one of our customers is the actual CEO called and really wanted the accountant to pay the invoice, but the accountant said, no, this sounds way too robotic, and just hung up the phone. And obviously the CEO was a little bit puzzled and said, like, what the hell is going on? And stormed into that office. But in the end, it was actually, they laughed about it and were happy that the protection mechanism worked. How are AI scams evolving? Basically, I mean, you guys know it from a user perspective. On one side, the whole information gathering is a lot easier. What maybe previously took hackers a couple of hours, a couple of days to prepare a very targeted, very tailored approach to fool someone, and now it takes a couple of seconds and is done completely automatically, because just for example, we scrape an OSINT, open source intelligence risk profile, and I think within a couple of minutes we have over 400 risk parameters on a company normally available. That's, I mean, I hope not, but probably there are some hackers who can even do it better than we do. But on the other side, also from the technology side, so these fake, voice cloning and all of that, the interactive calls, you can even add emotionality to it. So basically, hackers can use the state of the art to mimic other people and scam humans, and especially because I would say much or like a very big part of our population and of our society is actually not up to date with the latest trends that are happening, right? Like if you actually ask, I don't know, the latest DeepSeek algorithm, they find a lot of information. If you use the real-time API from OpenAI, that feels like a real conversation. But I think many of the guys are not aware that these technologies even exist. So that, of course, on that part of the society, this can be easily exploited. I would say 99% of the scams you can tackle with just a little bit of critical and skeptical thinking. Obviously, one of the best examples is clearly you clearly haven't won the lottery, or nor I actually received one today where they said some US lottery winner actually donated 1,800 euros to our company. Obviously, that guy didn't, but I think that's easy to depict. But I really have to say that especially people are unaware of what they share on social media, and that information again is used to gain the trust, also coming via two different channels. I think this is extremely this makes our society, or the individuals in our society, extremely vulnerable to these kind of attacks. Even though large financial organizations are trying their best to really detect all kind of weird patterns that are coming up, I think it's very, very important also to educate family members on the needed skepticism towards some kind of messages. There's one more funny story, because obviously it's always very heartbreaking if you hear that older people have been fallen to like really like harsh scams where they lost almost all of their retirement money and so on. And they also if you look up a little bit of stories, there are things where you say like, Jesus, that was really stupid that you took all your money and deposited in that trash can around the corner. But people do it. And there's one funny story happened in Germany. You guys can take it. I think it was a Handelsblatt article. Actually, an old married couple, they took all their money from the bank and actually purchased gold for it, because actually they were in conversation with scammers, and the scammer said, oh, it's only safe in gold, and then they were just about to give it to someone that would store it safely for them, but just before they got the hang of the scam, instead of actually handing over the gold to the criminals, they alarmed the police. But because I think they held or they were holding the gold for a couple of months, and exactly in these months the gold price skyrocketed. So actually, what they were maybe they are the only example where a scam actually led to financial gain for them. Yeah, it's quite funny, and I think they're like 70, 80 years old or something. So it's also a cute story. To be honest, there are also let's say endless possibilities how we can also use AI to identify that something is harmful or has a harmful intent. Obviously, I mean, one of the very obvious things that you would think in terms of cybersecurity is, of course, your email, your spam filter. Email is a very old protocol that's absolutely globally used, and but obviously the spam filters can detect a lot more relationships between certain parameters in an email to also understand if that's now harmful content or not. Another thing that you guys can think of is quite interesting. Let's pretend you are an employee or an individual being attacked, and now because of AI, you can, with a high like a likelihood of 99%, say this incoming email or this incoming call, that is a scam or someone with harmful intent. I mean, one way you can do it, you can solve it like I think O2 did it. They have a chatbot that is then activated to scam the scammers. But at the same time, you could also divert it to your private AI agent. While that's nice because your private AI agent scams the scammers and basically takes up their capacity, probably it will be bot talking to a bot. And what is now interesting is that you can equip your AI agent with a set of fake data that they are able to share. And while the attacker is actually interacting with your we call it a honeypot AI agent, and that honeypot AI agent, like piece by piece, shares some data. And later, that allows you as an individual or as an organization to prove if there's a data breach or someone contacts you with a ransomware kind of request. Then you can prove that the attacker actually just got fake data. You can say, yeah, you've stolen 100 data sets, but I can prove that probably 98 of them are fake, so it's worth nothing. And that again makes you less worth of being attacked for hackers than others. And of course, the last thing is you can of course also use it for education purposes, right? So with AI, you can craft and replicate the circulating attacks much quicker, much faster, much better in a very interactive way. For example, what we do is the Spotify playlist of cyber attacks individually for every employee.